happy to have you with us today, Ashwarya, on Regal Life Series episode 54. And it was great to meet you at Coaching Unlimited recently, last weekend in Bangalore. So I'm just
Thanks,
going to,
Shweta. The feeling is mutual, actually. Great to see you again here. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. And I love your chirpy, bubbly energy, if I may say that. There's so much of enthusiasm in everything you do and say. And I'm just going to take a little moment before we begin to introduce you to our audience here. So Aishwarya is a veteran banker with a career spanning, I'm going to say 2 dozen years. She said 2 decades, but it's 24 years, which is like, oh my God, a whole lot. And she is now heading the southern region as director and head wealth and personal banking for HSBC Bank. I'm so sorry. It's like there's so much. I'm going to read it again. She's currently heading the southern region as director and head wealth and personal banking person for HSBC Bank. She's also an executive coach and she's done her certification from Regal Unlimited, just the way I have. So we're going to be actually talking about Coaching Unlimited, Aishwarya, because that's the recent event that has happened. So I was actually curious what made you choose Coaching Unlimited in the first place.
So, to be very honest, my ACC was actually coming up for renewal next year, and I was figuring out the last 2 3 years at work has been extremely hectic that I have not been able to coach too much. It has been primarily, 1 or 2 sessions here and there, but I've just been out of touch. So I thought, okay, when I heard about Coaching Unlimited, there were 2 3 things that rang a bell for me. One, it will help me to refresh the competencies and kind of really get back before I formally renew. And the fact that it also gave you the 38 CCU was like icing on the cake, because you kind of can cover the entire requirement. And I have another 5 6 months for my renewal to come up, so I thought this could be the right time for me to just go back, refresh. End of the year, time is also better because we have a Jan December year. So November is fairly a reasonable time for us to take a little off. So I could take the 2 3 days and immerse myself in the classroom. So it just fell in place, I guess. And I'm really grateful that I took this call and attended the session.
Yeah. 4 days, and you could take that time off considering how busy you are. And I congratulations on your new post. I remember you mentioning in class that you're about to hear this good news very, very soon. So congratulations officially as well for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And it's interesting how you mentioned these three things. You said icing on the cake, 38 CCUs, refreshing your competencies, and your renewal is due soon. So with the competencies, like we spoke about competencies in the first 2 days, and the next 2 days about business development. What would you say was something like really valuable, a valuable insight or a valuable takeaway that you gained in the last 4 days, Ashwarya?
So lots of them. I think the way it is structured the first 2 days, and one good thing for me about Regal, which I've always liked, is even when we did ACC, I think the mentors were always evaluating us against the PCC markers. It was always setting the standard high. And now also the focus was on achieving mastery. There were a lot of fellow master coaches, mentors around, people who were, much senior in and actually actively coaching. So it really helped in understanding the subtle nuances, right? So I think it's a big shift from what you are used to. So if you ask me, from coaching from a what, I think Coaching Unlimited helps you to start looking at how you can coach the who or the person behind. I think that was the biggest takeaway.
Wow. Coaching the who, the how we talk about coach the person, not the what or the problem. And you mentioned mastery, Ashwarya. So we were talking about mastery in throughout Coaching Unlimited, right? How would you define your takeaway as what mastery is, other than what you just told us, that the who and the coaching from the who? What else would you say that nuance of mastery was for you?
So, one, I think in terms of, so actually there are 3 4 things I will say. First is the listening skills. while as a coach you are asked to listen, I think it was about listening to the bosses, really listening, completely with your presence. So normally when you coach, you are always in your mind also. Sometimes you try to get to ask the question or look at the problem. It was constant reminder to actually be completely present and meet the client where they are, without judgment, without assumptions. Actually meet the client where they are and coach forward. I think that was a big takeaway. And when you say mastery, I think it is also about how much you kind of practice. And it kind of also showed me that, especially the last 3 4 years, I have not been super active as a person and as an individual, and plus running a sales team. I am always outcome oriented. So my focus has always been solutioning, outcome, how do you solve a problem. And here you got to understand that as a coach, it is not your responsibility to solve for someone, but it is more about getting them to solve for themselves. And if it means they don't have a solution in the sessions, the fact that you're present, people could probably process it later and find that solution, which will stay with them much longer, because it is something they come up with and not like something you told them. So I think that shift of understanding to be completely present in the moment and let the the process take over, that was a huge learning.
Totally present. When you mentioned even being present when you're listening, that was something I noticed too. And when you spoke about, you're such a senior leader, you're interacting with so many people, and you said that it shifted from outcome oriented. Your focus shifted from outcome oriented to allowing the person to come to their own solutions, uh, as we do in a coaching session, so that that lasts longer. Yeah, uh, I love that. And Shweta, in terms of your professional experience, like you said, you're like outcome oriented. There's so much. There must be so much pressure on you to deliver. Like certain goals have to be done. This has to be achieved, and with that, your personal life also. What would you say that Coaching Unlimited created for you in your professional and personal fronts also that you did not expect at all?
So, I was thinking back that this outcome orientation is not just in coaching sessions, but it is probably the way I am with my daughter. Any interaction, I'm always looking for the the solution. So I think
Mm,
that was like a big aha moment for me. And the second part is, I think, as a leader, when you attend a session like this, irrespective of the fact that you're a coach, it kind of teaches you to get into a coaching mindset. And that is something that anyone can take away in every walk of life. So now I am becoming much more self aware, I'm becoming much more conscious on every interaction that I have, to say that am I really listening? Am I really being present? Am I really working from a coaching mindset
mm,
in every day? So I think you just kind of imbibe it over time. I could sense that some of the mentor coaches, the way they were as a persona, I think is so many years of mastery and really living that mindset. So somewhere it
mm,
is not that you have a different person when you come to start coaching, but this is how you are as a human on an everyday basis. So that is, I think, a big outcome for me in terms of how do you embody the coaching mindset every day, every moment. That's a work in progress, but yeah, that's the first step of self awareness that I should do it.
Coaching mindset in every interaction. So between the time like we left Bangalore on Sunday and today is what, Thursday, right? Do you have any particular instant magical change that happened in your interactions that you could tell us about?
Yeah,
Any
yeah. So
subtle
I'll tell
things?
you interesting, right? So I I always have been wanting to spend time with my daughter, but by the time you come home, it's late in the evening. So it's always like you have a mobile buzzing somewhere, plus you're also doing something over the homework, or even if you're interacting, there is always some distraction. And I told myself that, you know what, I'm going to take that 30 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is, but absolutely zero disturbance and just be present with her. And you know, the kind of fulfillment you get and the satisfaction she gets, that it's your time with her, I think that was like super fun. So this is something that I've now calendarized for myself, that every day I'm going to do this. So
Wow, you use the word fulfillment and fulfilling, that your daughter knows this time is for you and you know. And I see the smile on your face, like undivided. And it kind of also talks about that active listening with presence that you were talking about earlier. Thank you for sharing that. It's making me smile too.
thank you.
And also,
No, we
you
always
say,
think we are great at multitasking, and then you realize actually
yeah,
multitasking doesn't mean you're neither present here nor there. So it is better
yeah.
that you kind of really break it down and be present in whatever you're doing. So,
What a wonderful thing to say that, Ashwarya. And most of us women, particularly, I think, have been taught. We were having this discussion at Coaching Unlimited also, that multitasking is such a strength. And what you just said about multitasking and what you were sharing there also, that it doesn't mean that you don't have to be present in this place or that, but that's eventually what happens when you're multitasking, right? And you playing so
absolutely.
many
And people
different
can make
roles.
out always.
Yeah. How do you mean people can make out?
Absolutely.
Like,
It's like you are distracted. Sometimes they're like, "Are you listening?" Or, I just told you that, and you ask some very stupid question, and then you realize, okay, they just told something and you were not listening because you're doing something else. So it does happen. So I think it's a conscious
yeah,
call now to really prioritize your time and ensure you're present completely for that person.
yeah, yeah. And it does make a lot of difference in your personal connections as well as your professional connections in the long run. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, it really does. And, people feel valued because at the end of the day, it is not about, like I said, right? You don't need to solve for others. The fact that you're
Mm.
present, people will get the strength to solve for themselves. I think that's a big learning. Yeah.
That's huge, right? You just being present and they can solve it for themselves. And even when you look at your children or people that you're working with as a leader, that trust in them, also, which is a competency, the CC4, that trust and safety that comes in with this coaching
Absolutely.
mindset, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashwarya. And you also mentioned that with the mentors, Subhash, John PK, the three mentors, the competencies, the business development that has been talked about, the niche creation. What would you say is a memorable moment for you in all of those 4 days that is still stands very strongly, as you think of those last 4 days?
See, first and foremost, I think hats off to them because
Yeah.
they were really opening up their lives, their business, not holding back anything. I think sometimes you say that you share and you build others, and you could see that from the heart from all of them, right? So that was something which was amazing. A lot of people think that information is power. The more I know than someone else is what puts me in a sense of power, is what a lot of people operate from. And that is a sense of insecurity. So somewhere they were also talking about that shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. So I think somewhere they were all already in that abundance mindset of wanting to share their learnings, wanting to build others, sharing opportunity. Hats off to them for dedicating time. They are established coaches, and I'm sure for them this time could have been used to make much more for themselves if they wanted to in their profession, right? So this
Yeah.
is more their dedication to the uh, community and the fraternity of coaching, of wanting to develop others. It's a rich legacy that they're leaving behind in terms of building others with what they have learned the hard way, right? They have really established themselves from scratch, and they are letting you to start from where they are today by telling them small tips which can really kind of help you to fast track and not really go through the whole stuff yourself. So I think hats off to all three of them. I was absolutely in awe. I think, very, very beautifully thought through, very well conceptualized session by the three of them. There was enough time for all of us to reflect. The cohort was, of course, fantastic. So enough time for everyone to share their personal stories. At the same time, you covered everything that was supposed to be covered and never did you feel rushed. So I think
Yeah.
it was a very, very comprehensive 4 days and super investment.
Yeah. I totally agree. And from 9 in the morning to 6, I think we would start at quarter to 9. We would be there at quarter to 9, and we would be there at till 6 o'clock, and very short breaks in between, very timed, articulately done. So I would totally agree with you on that. And since you mentioned the cohort and everybody got time to self-reflect, what would you say the kind of about the cohort that was there, the kind of people you met, the connections, anything
Outstanding. I
about
think I
that?
have no words. I think I am absolutely grateful that we were less lucky. But you know what? It's very interesting, right? Even when I did my ACC with Regal, we had a fantastic cohort. Different people from all over the globe. And But you know, it was fantastic to deal with all of them. And I still am friends with a lot of them. We are in touch. Similarly, now, I think what each person brought to the table was very, very unique. And together, it was a blended cocktail, which was fantastic. So, you know,
The lovely
that's
metaphor. Aishwarya asked John
oh,
talking about metaphor.
yeah. Yeah, we were talking about metaphors. It just came, I think, naturally to me. It's not something which I had rehearsed, but honestly, I felt that it was so invaluable what each of them were talking about their experiences. And you know, the best part of it is that every time you become a coach, most times the sessions that you attend are for your credentialing when you get certified, right? At that point in time, your approach is towards have I done one, two, three right? And is this going to pass? But practicality of a situation, how do you react in it? You know, that was something that you could get if the cohort is challenging enough for you. I think that is what I really took away because they got you problems even for peer coaching. It was real situations which, you know, when you're practicing there, you realize, okay, what if something like this lands at me? How do I deal with it? Right. So I think that practical experience you will never get bookish. You
Yeah.
need the bunch of people together, and I think it was just amazing. And the fact that we had some accomplished singers just made it even better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. We have some videos of people singing, and it was really amazing, I would also say. And you said very beautifully that there were actual real life problems that were coming to the table in the practice sessions. There were observations, and the space of no judgment, I feel, kind of enhances the space of the curiosity in terms of, oh, how would you have done that? Oh, this is how you did that. So I think that exchange, would you agree, was quite valuable. I feel. I think it was totally judgment-free space, free flow of
Absolutely.
information going on.
Free flow of
Yeah.
information, free challenges to everyone, and people were
Yes.
equally open to accept feedback, accept challenges. Did not feel, you know, at one point that they were feeling pulled down, but instead it was more empowering for everyone that the more someone challenged me, the more
Yeah.
I'm going to build myself. So I think that creating that sense of trust and creating that sense of cohesiveness with
I think
everyone
you're breaking for me, Aishwarya. I can't hear you.
was amazing. I think it was beautiful.
Sorry, I missed that. I wonder if it's just me or is it um, everyone? Can you hear me, Aishwarya?
Now I can hear you. I think you're back.
Yeah, I think there was some lag. I just heard a sense of cohesiveness. What else were you saying? A sense of? I missed that part. Sorry.
Uh, no, I said the fun, the cohesiveness, all of it together was like amazing. I think the fact that people did not feel threatened, but it was very, everyone was open to feedback, and all of us got and received a lot of feedback also, which we could genuinely take back as care and some, you know, it's coming from a point of everyone wants everyone else to equally do well. And it's continuing to date, right? I mean, in terms of having a clear 100-day plan, how to go about it, if there is someone wanting to get into coaching as a business, How do
Yeah.
you really set yourself up with a very clear plan and your mentor holding on to you for the next 100 days? Outstanding. I think no one
Yeah.
really stretches themselves so much, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah. The 100-day plan. And yeah, if you really want to set your business up, that it's like a structure laid out right in front of you with what you shared earlier, the mentors sharing real life experiences. Very valuable. Thank you so much, Ashwarya. We are at the top of the hour, but before we go, I would just like to ask you one last question, if that's all right. What would you say somebody who's not coming to see you is missing?
Everything. You know, like I said, see, normally we think that a lot of people, and including me, right? Let me be clear.
Hmm.
We thought CU is only for renewal, right?
Hmm.
But actually, it is not. And my request to all of the coaches is that when you learn your credentialing or when what you do towards your basic credentialing is very different from what you get as a practical experience. And CU is about understanding from other people's experiences so that you can take off from there and not, it's like really being on a launch pad, right? You don't need to go through everything yourself. You don't need to go through the struggle yourself. You can just pivot basing basis what you hear and get from people around you. So I'm really already looking forward to the next season. And my sincere request to everyone is that this is something you can't miss. You should attend it.
So grateful. Thank you for that. There was another metaphor you said you're on a launch pad. So, you can just take away from so many other people's experiences, not make the same
I'm
mistakes again.
noticing that, look at your presence, right? How much you are really picking up all of this beautiful.
I know it was my second Coaching Unlimited too, and I'm looking forward to the third one as well. I mean, it's going to be hat trick for me, and I'm so glad to hear that you're going to be there too. So, thank you so very much. And for your time. I know you're a very busy person, but thank you for taking the time for sharing your valuable inputs with us, Aishwarya. I hope to catch up with you other than this live too very soon.
Sure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Shweta. Thanks for having me. And see you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Good night.